Ah, hello everyone. 20 FPS, not bad. That's a bit lower than I typically get though, but that is for a very specific reason, and that is because I have shaders installed. So yeah, um, I'd like to apologize for not having a video out basically this entire week. I've been having some issues with my asthma, hard breathing. Sometimes my voice was a bit muffled, and my eye has been giving me quite a few problems the last week, so I have not been producing videos. Um, and I've also been spending a lot of the time on here since I didn't need to really talk that much. It was a bit easier for me to work on this server that I'm on right now, which I'll talk about in just a moment. And yeah, that's basically a little bit of the update that I wanted to show, to tell you. Um, Currently I am on a server called Mithrintia. Mithrintia is a creative building server. Those of you who know BWO will know that he's currently producing building lessons with a member of the Mithrintia build team called Gliss. And yeah, so those of you who know what Mithrintia is, maybe you've never seen the server, and I'll give you a brief little description of what the server's like. So when you start out on Mithrintia, you are a guest, and you make a guest plot in a 32 by 32 area. I forget if it's 30 by 30 or 32 by 32. I think it's 32 times 32. And you build something there, and then you get a review. If the moderators or junior moderators and other staff think that it is good, you will go up a rank to member. Now, member is where I am currently at. I have been on the server for a few months. Unfortunately, I have, up until recently, failed to actually create a decent style of build here, because before I was trying to do some pretty massive scale builds. Unfortunately, at member you don't get world edits, so they took forever to make, and then they didn't end up being that great because they had it all be hand placed. So this time around, since Mithrintia restarted and all plots were cleared, I decided to go a little bit of a different route and go on a town. And you'll see that this town looks remarkably similar to the one that I am showing you how to build in my um, build lessons videos, and that is because I drew the inspiration from the build lessons videos from the town that I was making here. Eternity has been open for a little bit over a week or so, and I had been planning out what I was going to be doing on single player, started implementing it here, and then also doing build lessons on YouTube. So this is a more completed version of the town that we will be creating in the build lessons. I'll just take a small overview of exactly what types of things we're going to be adding later on. The pathway, the orange wool, is going to end up looking something similar to this, and note that this is in a different texture pack. This is in Mithrinthia's texture pack because they have their own. It is not in Avery's Ascended, so it does look a bit different. But we will be adding small patches of water. We'll be adding wheat farms, probably some custom trees like this. I'll be going over some roof design. I'll be going over custom trees, pathways, and some other things along the way. But this is kind of a sneak peek of what we're going to be working up to. Now, even this is not complete. I'm still working on this a little bit before I put this in for review, but I just figured I'd give you a little bit of information on what I've been doing the last week since I haven't been posting videos. So, and not that I've posted a lot of videos on my channel to begin with, but to the very few people that are currently watching my videos at the point of this recording, some people might be like, where is he? So, just thought I would post this little update. I'm trying to think if there's anything I should really do on camera here to show you, but I am now using Sonic Ether's unbelievable shaders with Optifine for 1.6.4. I think it looks pretty good and it's running pretty smooth right now. So just let me do a quick fly through over the town and just show you what this place looks like a bit. Let's look at it from walking perspective. So you enter the town, main road, looks pretty nice. Some little wheat farms on the side just to add to the medieval theme, the medieval style. I really like the look of it. Unfortunately, everything in this server growth is disabled, for vines at least. And I heard people say that growth was disabled for all things, sugarcane, etc. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Sugarcane still grows, wheat apparently still grows as well. What I had originally was I actually had this wheat randomized. Some of it was fully grown, some of it wasn't grown at all, and some of it was in a middle stage. And that looks much better than just having a full wheat farm. The sugar cane, however, I can stop from growing by putting string on top of it, and it looks like it's glitzing a little bit with the shading. The texture for the string in this texture pack is completely transparent, but I guess with shaders, there's a little bit of a shadow issue, which makes it so it appears. But if I were to turn the shaders off, absense, shaders, none, done. Done, back to game. Much higher FPS. You can see that there is no string there. So this is what the village looks like with no shaders on. Still looks quite impressive. So this is what we're going to be building up to. I need to modify these roofs a little bit, the ones that have the two kinds of wood on it. This was the pattern of roofing I did before I actually settled on this design, which I have some examples of over here. Actually, for this video, forget it. While I'm at it, I might as well show you some little things about roofing. So, what I started out with, let me just count this. Okay, so it's 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me just trace this out real quickly. What I started out with was a very basic shaped roof. Very unimpressive, very bland, really unattractive. So what I ended up doing was taking some ideas that I saw. That's one of the good things about this server, is that you can just walk around and you see a bunch of builds that give you a lot of inspiration. So if you're interested in building, you should really come on this server. You can see a lot of things and they are amazing help. But how I created this exact roofing pattern, which looks a lot more eye-appealing than this, is in the center, I just break one block in and place a stair. Break one block in, place a stair. Then I take 2 blocks to the side of that center block and I place stairs there, and I also place one on the edge. And I repeat this pattern on the next row down, so just like that. And same over here on the other side. Break one in, place the 2 stairs like that. And then I take slabs and I fill in between the stairs. And this makes it look a bit smoother. And after I get done with that, above the stairs on the bottom level, I just place some slabs to make it look like this level of the floor is coming out a little bit more. Of the roof, not the floor. But, so, this is just a pattern of roofing I came up with, and then I just add some stripes across the roof. Like that, and then one stripe down the middle. And it just makes a much more appealing roof style than the bland roof, which is actually where I started with. I don't like the look of this multicolored lines quite as much as I like the look of these roofs, so I'm gonna end up turning all these into them. Just haven't gone around to that at the current moment. So I'm not a big fan of the glowstone texture for this server. The server is using connected textures to allow you to glowstone has more than one texture associated with it, and a lot of other blocks do as well, based on the metadata. So we're using connected textures. They have it so that each different blocks can have multiple textures. So there's multiple textures for glowstone. But this is the one you get by default, and unfortunately you can't set the other metadata values unless you have world edit. And you don't get world edit until you get up to tier 1, which is right after member. As I was saying before about the ranking system, from member you go up to tier 1, tier 1 goes to tier 2, then to tier 3, and then you get to artisan. And at basically any point along there, they can basically accept you into the build team if they think you're a good builder, if they have a special talent. The higher rank you are, I believe, though, the easier chance it is for you to get up there because you've proven yourself pretty well. That's basically all I can think of to get here. Let's oh, I need to I have chat disabled because a lot of people like spam the chat, so let's just do shown. So you'll see that there's a lot of people talking now. The spawn is actually the spawn point for let me turn my shaders back on. Sonic Ether's unbelievable. So here we go. This is the spawn point for the big plot server, which is where you can go to in your member. Looks quite awesome. This is built, I think, by the build team. So let's see, plot me info. This was created by Gliss. Figures. Just goes to show you that he's a really good builder. The spawn point of the server. This is where you're going to log into. And you will have this area here. Quite fancy walls there. So there's the big plot, there's the small plot. I'll show you the spawn point for the small plot. Oops. Small plot server. Slash. Boom. There we go. Just to make it a little bit brighter. And so here's the spawn point for the small plot. They have different signs up where you can look. They'll give you little tutorials for the depth. They'll give you interior tutorials, etc. So this is where you'll start. You'll claim a plot. There's signs that explain everything, so I don't really need to, but just thought I'd give you a nice little fly through, get you maybe interested. The server is quite impressive. It's very lag free. Currently though, since it's only started a week or so ago, there is a lot of plugins that are being tested, and because of that they are periodically restarting the server, so do not be surprised if you end up the server keeps on restarting when you're on it. So and that's a kind of interesting way of making a cloud. I'm not sure I like it, but that's basically it for this little update, this little video. So I'll see you in the next video. It'll either be another Uncharted Territories video, another build lessons video, or I'm also going to be starting to do redstone videos soon, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you there.